As you may remember, this project started with the beginning of the course, and we adapted it after the last meeting in Lithuania to relate it with sustainability. This project involved 5 subjects: music, biology, English, French, and history. In the science department, we were analyzing the water from the near part of the canal. We also had a walk through it to see the fauna and flora in the nearby. We analyzed the water pH and chlorine from the canal, and we went to the water treatment plant to see how water was cleaned. In the biology class, we made a fauna and flora guide with more than 68 species that live in the canal ecosystem. Our idea is to upload it to Wikipedia. We are still working, and on April we'll go again to analyze fauna and flora with these 2 apps, PlanNet and eNaturalist.
Why is the canal involved with music? In the past, our canal was used for many things, like washing clothes or bringing water for the crops, while they were singing some traditional songs that we have worked on in class. It was like an entertainment for make it more fun. The activities which we have carried out are research work. We have been searching information in groups about canal utilities previously, and we have added everything to our presentation. My group selected the utility of canals in the work of sheep herds, for example, bring the cattle to drink water. Dialogue. Our teacher Maria Angeles told us to do an activity of making a dialogue in which the characters, a grandmother and a granddaughter, appear walking through the canal, while explaining an ancient activity related with it. Loba Parda, Dan Wolf. We were reading and listening to different romances of La Loba Parda, and with them we made a new version of the poem adding and subtracting verses. After this, we made a variation of the poem and our teacher recorded us. Flute songs. We learned a few songs for children and to dance, and about traditional instruments. These were some songs which people sang while they were working. After this, we made an activity with second ESO kids, which consisted in showing each group one children's songs and make with them its corresponding game while they were singing. Final activity. We want to present a play with kids as final activity, picking up everything I have said before, and each group will have an old job, which includes activities related with the canal. Here you can see us working and preparing it. For example, with the sound of spoons we represent blacksmiths. The idea is that people know and reflect on how in the past a more respectful use of the environment was made. And that is what we have to tend.
I am going to talk about English classes and what we did in them. Thursday the 15th was a day where we worked about sustainability with some partners from other classes of 4th year, and we met with some children at the dock near our high school, where children were divided in groups, and we walked up to the civic center where our partners explained them what they were doing with the canal and what sustainability was. José Carreño was there to help us, knowing the importance of the water and the canal itself. He is a famous photographer who was working during some long years on this project called Behind the Reflection, and he said something I really like. Everything comes from water. If we do not have water, we have nothing. So we had a couple of days where we could walk around the canal and try to understand everything around us, analyze it and see the differences and our environment. And we also had the chance to write some amazing poems we then told the kids about. Friday the 16th was the day we had to work with the kids. We met at the dock again, where the kids were divided in groups, and after we explained them what we were going to do, we walked around the canal up to the civic center again and explaining them everything we had been doing those 2 months of work. And the main concept which this project is based around is sustainability, And sustainability based around the canal is preserving the amazing piece of history we have around us, and that sometimes we even forget it is there. So we had our kids do some posters with their ideas of how to maintain and preserve this piece of history. And in white chalk they did the positive ideas, and in orange chalk they wrote some things that were harmful for the environment. But we haven't stopped working yet. We are currently creating some advertisements and posters and videos that we are going to later present them to the town council to encourage tourism in this area of the canal. And something we did to try and make the kids easier to understand the vocabulary were vocabulary flipbooks. We divided the vocabulary we were finding in the canal and related to the canal in 5 different booklets, divided into jobs, flora, fauna, machinery, and structures. And finally, our feedback, which was very varied but mainly positive. Some teachers said it was funny watching us acting as teachers for a day. And related with the kids, they did these reports in different subjects such as French and Spanish language, in which they told us what they really liked about this activity. Some of them discovered a lot of activities they could do and they didn't know about. They found things they hadn't never heard of, and they learned things, which was our main idea, for them to learn something new. Here you can see some pictures and some videos we made in our classes about our feedback. And finally, Kahoot, which was a really amazing tool we had to play with the kids. It's like doing surveys between different groups in which they could play and choose the correct answer, and they didn't get bored with it. We had to play it a couple of times for them to stop laughing at the different questions with it.